friends, and welcome back to Lemon Tree Corner. If you're new here, hi, my name is Heather and I make bags and project bags and purses and fun stuff like that. We also do other crafts here on the channel. I do crocheting and scrapbooking and other fun things like that. So I hope you stick around. And to all of my good friends who come back every week, thank you for coming back. We are hopefully at the time you're seeing this, we will be at 1,000 subscribers. Yay! We are so close, about 50 away at the time of filming this. So very excited about that. And yeah, we're just gonna keep going with the project bags this week. So last week we finished all of the squishy project bags, so named because they're squishy. And this week we are working on the drawstring project bags. So I've got about 6 or 7 of these cut out as well. We had 7 of the last ones. So we'll be working on these this week, and each of those gets some twill tape. So the good news is I can make the bags. The twill tape goes on after through the drawstring channels. So if I don't have a color I need, I can order these pretty easily. Can't remember if I got them on Etsy or Amazon, but very fast turnaround. So no problem there. And then after that, we will be working on the Oxford project bags. And then after that, if we get all of that done, then I'm going to experiment with making a sweater size bag. And then I also have an idea for a sock bag. So I don't think I'm going to get all of those done before the yarn crawl, but we will have plenty of things ready in time for the yarn crawl. I want to give you an update on our scrappy shawl we started last week. So here is what it's looking like. It's definitely a shawl of many colors. So I'm having trouble letting go of this. I wanted to plan out the colors. Part of me wanted to just pull out the next color and start going. I'm finding that I have a lot of purples. Most of what's left in the bag are purples. So I think I'm gonna just get as far as I can with this and then set it aside. We have some very different colors coming up in future projects that I can add in here when those are done. So this is gonna be a long time project. This is just gonna go sit in stasis for a while until we're ready to add some more colors to it. Which leads us conveniently to our next big project, which I will tell you about in a second. Stay tuned. If you have not already subscribed to my channel and you like watching crafty vlogs, then I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I post every Saturday, so I hope you come along for the journey. And with that, please grab a water or a cozy beverage, curl up, and let's get this week started. So here is our new project. Ta-da! It's a lot of yarn. Okay, so as you will recall, we just did the lark's foot stitch with our Advent yarn from this last December, which turned out really beautiful. I really love it. And I was able to do the stitch because when I first got back into crocheting, I could not for the life of me get the tension right to do the stitch. But that color combo did not turn out as striking of a contrast as this. This picture has been on my wall for 4 years now. So I kind of had that thought in my head. And as much as I like my shawl and the color scheme, it isn't really going to satisfy that itch. So I got it in my head that we could order some cotton yarn in kind of a nice gradient and do that as a couch blanket. Originally I wanted those green colors, couldn't really find those, but Hobie was having a sale on their cotton yarn and they had this pack, which I love me some teal, so this is a great color gradient for me. It's their 8.6 quality cotton. They also have an 8.8 and 8.4, so just depending on what you want. And it's 37% off right now. So past Heather placed an order, the original order, and I got it in 2 packages. The first package only had 1 of these sets, and I started freaking out because I was like, well crap, that's not going to make a big blanket. These are only 50 grams each. Did some math, panicked, placed another order because I thought there was only 1 more of these packs coming. And for some reason they were split into 2 shipments. So instead of being smart and checking what I had originally ordered, I panicked and placed another order for 2 more of these, thinking I'd have 4 total. Fast forward to the second shipment hitting my door, has 4 of these. So now I have 5 total, plus 2 more that I just ordered. So it turns out past Heather did some sort of math to come up with the fact that I needed 5 sets of those. I tried canceling the new order, but it's too late, it's already been processed. So I have 2 more of those packs coming. So now I'm not sure whether to make a couch blanket and maybe a scarf or something, a scarf and hat, I don't know. Or I could make a larger blanket for our bedroom. Those are totally the colors that we have in our Hawaiian themed bedroom. But then I'm also thinking this yarn is kind of thinner than I thought it was going to be. It's not quite a DK weight. It's not a sock either. It's kind of in between. So they are suggesting using a 3 to 3.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to do some tests with this. I'm going to test up a few sample swatches and see what it looks like and see what I like. So it might turn out, if I'm going to use that small of a hook size, I might need all this yarn anyway. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep the other 2 packs that are coming. Maybe it was divine intervention. Maybe I am going to need all of those packs, and they're really not that expensive, so I'm going to live with it. Yeah, so I'm very excited to work up some swatches of that and get that going. It's kind of a long-term background project. It's just going to be one of the ones on the go, and it's not really going to be something that I'm going to like crank out fast or anything, because we're almost done with our Segway shawl. In fact, I should finish that before I start this. I need to finish some projects. So once we're done with that, we are going to move on to another shawl, maybe the one with the cranberry yarn. That would be nice, a nice change for us. Or we could make the scarf out of the craggy tweed. That would be a nice fast project too. So I don't know, lots of crochet projects on the go, and I will keep you posted on those as we continue. Next step for us is putting our handle on. So we're going to be on the side of the bag. We've cut this at an angle, and now we're going to attach it to the bag. Let's take our base off. I just need a little bit of space for this on the tabletop here. And we're just going to do 1/4 of an inch. The hard thing is that this wants to move around a lot. So you just got to be careful. You can use a stiletto if you want. I'm just going to go back and forth a couple of times to really hold it on there. It just doesn't like to stay on that angle. And now we can start on our drawstring strap, or drawstring channels. So this strap can be made out of anything. It can be made out of your cotton fabric. It can also be made out of denim or cork or vinyl. I really like using the cork or the denim just because it gives it a lot more oomph as a nice sturdy handle You could put interfacing on the cotton and it would have the same effect, but I just like adding something a little different than what's already in here. So the drawstring channels are fun. What we're going to do is we're going to clean up the edges here. So we're going to fold in by 1/4 of an inch, which I love my handy dandy heat safe ruler. So we're just going to put this up to 1/4 of an inch, and then same thing on both sides. We're just going to kind of make a nice little hem. That. I like to take it out and then do it again, just so that it doesn't have that bit of bulk in there. It lays flatter. And then we're just going to go over again. You can eyeball this. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I like using the ruler for the first one. So you can do that on both sides. And then we are going to do it in half, lengthwise, like a hot dog, for the next part. So I have been working on videos for the other channel. I recorded a lot of stuff over the last few years and just never really edited it or posted it because I didn't want to mess up my numbers for this channel. So now that we have the separate channel, I'm going through all of my footage and putting together videos for that channel. So I should have quite a few to post. I'm going to spread them out just so that they're not all sitting there, just so that I have a couple coming out each week. So we've got some of the Hawaii ones up there. We've got the Washington hikes, which are really pretty with the waterfalls. We got the Oregon waterfalls. And yeah, just going to have a few more things like the Central Coast beach walks that we did the last few trips. So have all that. So hopefully you've gone and checked that out and liked some of them. They are very calming, even when I was putting them together. Very, very calming. So let's go sew these down and then do the next step. I think the hard part here is just you want to sew it face down, or face up rather, but then you can't see where your bottom is. So you just kind of got to judge, because you want the cleaner stitches to be on top in this case. Okay, now there's two ways you can do the drawstring channels. You can leave them open at the top, which means you're not going to put a stitch here, but then you just have this like plain edge here at the top. And the other thing you can do is to make it more of a ruffle. So I'm going to do the ruffle on these ones, and I have made a note for ruffle, so 3/4 from the folded edge. Okay, so we've still got the hole in our lining, so we're going to pull it through. pretty easy. There's no zipper or anything. So just that handle is the hard part. Okay. And other than sewing the hole in the lining, let's take a look at the drawstring channel. What I like to do is I like to go back over this and do a top stitch. So we can iron this. I can't iron over the cork, so that's the only thing we got to be careful of. So we can really pull this apart, get it ironed nice and flat. Okay, we are all done. Now we just have to find a color of twill tape that's going to go with this. Okay, so we have all our different colors of twill tape, and I will most likely be ordering more of each by the time we are done. We do have orange, which kind of goes. I was thinking pink might go. That nice soft pink would be really pretty. We do have a little bit of navy in here. That might be nice. That might be a nice contrast to what we're doing here. So let's go with that one. I'm just gonna make it a little bit longer than that because we are gonna have to sew them. And I don't have enough. Okay, well then. We will come back to this. Basically, we're gonna fold these over and stitch them down so that we have a clean edge, and then we will put them through. Might be time to order some more of this twill tape. Let me go through the other colors we have and see if I have enough for each of these colors. I would like a hot pink. I don't really have a hot pink. Lucy is dreaming again. So these two, Lucy and Oreo, are going to have surgery next week. So they're going to be, they're going to the groomer tomorrow to get a trim, and then they're going to be in surgery next week. They both have lumps that need to be removed. So we figured might as well do it at the same time. So we're ordering donuts for them. They're kind of like cones, but easier for them to manage. I don't think they're going to be able to get out the doggy door though, so that's the only questionable thing. I'll check back in next week after they have their surgery and let you know how they're doing, but if you could say a little prayer or send them some good vibes, that would be greatly appreciated. You know, there are little children, so very scary to have them both going under and going into surgery. But hopefully they will both be okay. Yes, we're talking about you. We're talking about you. Okay, here we have our sample of the lark's foot stitch in the cotton yarn. It's kind of stiff. I know it will get softer over time, but I'm having trouble with my tension here on these guys. So let me show that to you better. So just doing the color changes. I'm still gonna have tails, but that's okay. It just looks kind of messy, so I'm wondering, the only 3.5 millimeter hook that I have is one that I don't like. This, you know, the hook part doesn't go up high enough, and I can't seem to get my stitches with that one. I like these ones, I keep calling it Sally Hansen, but it's not. The Susan Bates hooks, I like those because they have a higher, the hook goes up higher here. The hook goes up further. I don't know if you can see that or if you know what I'm talking about. But that's the smallest hook I have here, which is a 3.75. So which is not what they recommended. They recommended a 3.5 or 3.0. So that's not going to work. I'd really like to try a 3.5 or 3.0. So I just went on Amazon and I ordered, the Susan Bates has a smaller hook size set, so I'm going to get that. I got this set, has a million sizes, but I just don't like the hooks, so I never use it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get the next size down, see if it looks any better. Okay, well, we can at least do one at this point. So I'm going to do, the only problem with the safety pin is that you're putting a hole in it, but that's okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through, going to have to go through the top. That is too small on the bottom for one, let alone two. So we're just going to inchworm this along. I went ahead and made this one 50 inches, and that might even be a little short. We're going to use this one as our tester to see how long we want them. I can't remember, I did not write it down last time. And we're just going to kind of pull this so that it sticks out. We don't want to pull it all the way through, or else we're messing up our whole thing here. So just going to stick this through the other channel. And there we have it. I like using the baby safety pins just because they're a lot easier to fish through there. So then you're just going to take your two ends and make a nice looking knot in the end and get it semi close to the bottom there. Okay, so that when this is pulled, you don't want it to be like too much longer than the bag. So I think that's probably good there. It's enough so that when it's open, it could be shorter than that actually. Let's make it more like 48 inches. Yeah, I feel like that's a little too long. We could go shorter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this stitching closer to here, maybe even like 3/8 of an inch, and that would give me plenty of room here for the drawstring channel, because at this point the drawstring channel is gonna be up at the top, even though we added the other line of stitching. So let's make some notes here. Doggies are back home. Oh, you guys are all fresh and clean. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. Okay, this is looking a lot better. First of all, we had enough to make 2 pieces. That's good. So just gonna pull this one through the opposite way, and then we can take a look. And this this size opening worked a lot better. So I did 3/8 from the folded edge. That gives me plenty of room here to squeeze both of the drawstrings through the channel. There we go. So now we have one that we can pull shut that has a little ruffle on the top. 2 down, yay! Okay, so this is the reality sometimes of crocheting. I slept on it overnight and decided that the lark's foot stitch is not going to work for this blanket. First of all, the cotton yarn just isn't acting the way that the wool yarn acted. I'm having trouble with the tension and the spike stitches. And then I thought about that block stitch again. And I was thinking, I have the white. I don't know if it's going to work out that I use, you know, obviously the white's every other row, but they're smaller rows. So I'm hoping it's all going to work out in the wash. This stitch is just way easier for me to do with the cotton yarn. It looks neater. It's not as holey. The thing with the wool is that it kind of filled in the spaces between the stitches with the lark's foot, and the cotton did not. The cotton just looked holey. So I like the look of this a lot better. It's easier for me to do. It's more comfortable, and this is going to be a huge blanket, and it's going to be lots of hours. So I want to feel comfortable doing the stitch that we're doing. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out how long I want the blanket to be and start with that. Now I don't know whether to start with the lightest row or the darkest row, because I do like this dark statement on the bottom. So we'll see. But yeah, I like this one a lot better. It looks a lot nicer, so I think that's what we're gonna do for this one. And we will save our lark's foot. Maybe I'll get a yarn. Maybe I'll get a wool yarn that looks like that and make another shawl out of that with the greens that I can't get out of my head. Okay, we have achieved our goal tonight. We have done the first color, the second color, and we're starting on the third color. So for some reason these are more V's than they're supposed to look like one stitch. So on some of them I achieved that, and on others I did not. So I have a feeling it's all going to kind of get smushy as I work on it. So that's good. Hey friends, so that's it for this week. Thanks for joining me. We got all of our project bags done, so let's take a look at them. A whole big stack, yay! Okay, so see if I can go in reverse order here. So we have the farmhousey one with the pretty print, and I went for a light blue handle on that one. We have our strawberries and blueberries, so very happy with that one, very colorful. Our honey pots and bees. We have our rainbow pride. The kitty cats, they're so cute. The 70s kitchen baking one. And the donuts, yay! So very happy with all of these. And we can start cutting out the interfacing for the next group we'll be doing, which is the Oxford bag. So next week, more project bags to come. We'll be working on the Oxford bag. And then I have an extra weekend, which is great, which means that after that we can experiment with the larger sweater bag. And then I also have an idea for a sock bag that's kind of like that weird pyramid shape where the top goes one way and the bottom goes the other way. So we'll see if I get to those, but very excited to continue this journey with the project bags. We got some more orders. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Yay! So I'm also planning out what bag I want to do for the giveaway. So depending on when that hits, we might make that bag before or after the yarn crawl. I'll see how things go, but it might be after the yarn crawl at this point. So very excited about that. And let's take a look in my own project bag and take a look at the blanket, see where we got on that. Okay, here is where we are at with the blanket. We've done two whole stripes, two whole sets of stripes, and we're working on the third. I still have yarn left, so I think I'm gonna get 3 stripes, at least 3 stripes out of each of the skeins, which is wonderful. So I have a ton of skeins to use. My sister also pointed out that I could do an extra blanket as a donation. So I don't know if I popped the video, a link to the video, but there's this great video about 20 different crochet organizations that you can donate to. So crochet, quilt, or knit that you can donate projects to. So I will leave that linked down below. Sounds like some wonderful organizations that would love to have your projects if you've made things for all of your relatives and you still want to make more things. If I have enough leftover yarn, I could make a baby or a small child blanket, pretty much the same blanket I'm making but in a smaller size, to donate. So that's a great idea. And my sister also texted me off the ledge with this whole project. I had confused my needle sizes. The white parts were looking too much like a separated V for me, and it was driving me bonkers. So I actually wound up tearing it all apart down to that first row, which I think I did do in the smaller 3.5 hook. So I'm using a 3.5 hook. I'm making those white rows super tight, and yeah, just kind of getting used to working with a smaller hook size is a little different for me, so my muscles are being used differently. But other than that, all good and ready to go for the week ahead. So yeah, it turns out only one dog needs to have surgery next week, so that's wonderful. And we just have one dog to deal with. We got the little donut collar thing, so I'll show you that in the next video with her on it, with it on. And yeah, so wish us luck for that, and we'll keep on trucking. As always, I love it when you come and spend time with me under the lemon tree, and I hope to see you back here next week. So have a wonderful week ahead. Love you, friends. Bye.